was defending, years ago I wasn't too excited about like Santa Claus at Christmas time because it detracted from the Christmas, the true Christmas message, the true message of Christ, and then he became under attack because so I felt kind of sorry for him. Well, now he's getting lumped in with us Christians.
you mean
well,
now,
yeah, Santa Claus. So now, I've always never been too fond of like snowmen, because snowmen are, also kind of detract from the Christmas message because of winter solstice. We're heading towards us, moving away from a religious holy day to a secular day. So now, are you aware that clerics, Islamic clerics, have now issued a fatwa on snowmen?
I saw that.
Religious leaders
on Facebook. I saw that.
Religious leaders forbid building and anti-Islamic idols that might resemble human beings after a winter storm in the North Country. Prominent Saudi Arabian clerics have whipped up controversy by issuing a religious edict forbidding the building of snowmen, describing them as anti-Islamic. Asked on a religious website if it was permissible for fathers to build snowmen for their children after a snowstorm in the country's north, this one particular cleric says, it is not permitted to make a statue out of snow, even by way of play or fun. Quoting from Muslim scholars, this guy argued that building a snowman was to create an image of a human being, an action considered sinful under the kingdom's strict interpretation of Sunni Islam. God has given people space to make whatever they want to do, whatever they want, which does not have a soul, including trees, ships, fruit, buildings, and so on, he wrote in his ruling. That provokes swift response from Twitter users writing in Arabic and identifying themselves with Arab names. They are afraid for their faith of everything. Sick minds, one Twitter said. Another posted a photo.
Six what?
Sick minds.
6 months.
Yeah. Another posted a photo of a man in formal Arab garb holding the arm of a snow bride wearing a bra and lipstick. The reason for the ban is fear of sedition, he wrote. A third said the country was plagued by two types of people. By people looking for a fatwa, religious ruling, for everything in their lives, and a cleric who wants to interfere in everything in our lives, in the lives of others through a fatwa. This guy said, this is the cleric, one of his clerics is mentioned here. One of his supporters says, in building snowmen, it's imitating the infidels. It promotes lustfulness and eroticism.
Give me a break.
God preserve the scholars for they enjoy sharp vision and recognize matters that even Satan does not think about.
Oh, yeah, Satan.
Right.
Okay.
They always turn me.
There's that snowman that's in question. Now this could provoke lustfulness and eroticism.
And not only that,
look at that round figure.
You don't have your recorder going, do you?
Yeah, I do.
This thing comes on. You're the.
Okay.
Boy, this is apparently Islam has got a question, has issues with people who build snowmen, okay? Because it's building an idol or an image. Now,
all of a sudden we're all interested in what Islam has to say, but not Christianity.
Right. Now I'm linking that with this story right here. Liberace is going on tour.
Yes, it is interesting.
Boy, am I the grave or what?
Liberace's going on tour. He's been dead for 25 years.
It's about time he went on tour.
More than 20.
A long hiatus.
More than 25 years after his death, it looks as if Liberace is headed back on tour thanks to some technological help. The legendary performer is set to make his return to the stage sometime this year as a sort of a hologram, with its unveiling taking place in Las Vegas. His tour is going to start in Las Vegas.
Of course.
Many will use the word hologram, but it technically isn't correct. This is what I want to talk about. This is not the first time. There's this company. It's actually what they actually call it. It's not a hologram. They call it Prepper's Ghost. And there's a firm that first put out rapper Tupac Shakur in a performance at the Coachella Music Festival, and then also last year in the Billboard Music Awards, they had a Michael Jackson appear on the stage. And but this is becoming more and more popular. And what it is not, because a hologram is not technically what it is. These are smart, I'm going to call them smart holograms. A hologram is something that you just digitally look at and see.
It's usually two-dimensional. And it is two-dimensional.
It's two-dimensional. This is more than just. This is going to become more than just two-dimensional. It's three-dimensional, but more than that. More than that, it's interactive. It's interactive. So what happens is you take, and right now it's in the arts, okay? But this is where this could go. You take the same technology, and you could feed all of Jesus' words, all of his words, into the computer. Every word that's recorded in the Bible into the computer. Then you take all perceived emotional responses, or perhaps perhaps emotional responses, and you feed that into the computer. Then you feed all the rest of the Word of God into that computer. We could literally, you could have down the line, you could have somebody standing up at the front of your church, 3D, that looks like a Jewish person. You could get the short hair version, the long hair version.
Get the Prince of Peace.
And he could be teaching every Sunday using his own words, and that could all be fed in. And he could and stop and think about this technology where our churches are going. You have one senior pastor, and then you have satellite churches that have screens, so that one pastor is speaking to different congregations. If you can take this company, you can get a 3D Jesus teaching and preaching at your church every Sunday, broadcast out. And he would be using, he'd never stumble at a word. He would be passionate and persuasive. Okay? Think about that. Now,
Think what
He'd be on CNN every
Think how
week.
Satan would use that as a tool.
Yeah.
You talking about Satan? Yeah. Just read this real quick. And it starts in Sin City.
Yeah.
now, let me. What I want to talk about is.
By the way, when you were talking about that hologram, that's what I was visualizing. How this could be not only like you're talking about this company doing this and taking, let's say, the image of the Prince of Peace, which is probably what Jesus Christ looks like. I mean, that's what the boys saw and so forth. And others have seen the same person. But remember, in the last day, in that day, every eye would be beholden. That God could use their ability, far exceeding what's there, and Jesus Christ could be appearing everywhere, on every TV screen, whether it's on or off. movie theaters, bingo, there he is on screen.
Trinity,
People looking at their, doing a text message, boom, there he is.
Trinity
on
Broadcasting.
Okay,
You know.
here's the point that I'm trying to make, is if there was a church that had this technology, would you be interested in going to that church that had that technology?
I'd go check that.
Okay, I want you to think
As
about
long
that.
as the word,
because-
as long as the word is the word, you know.
Because, and what I
Like a twist of
traced, what I traced, I did this in a few hours, so it's real rough. There's a lot more to it here, but I traced the word image through the Bible.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
the word image was first used. It was first used as Strong's Hebrew word 6754. It means a phantom or illusion or an idol. What's interesting is it uses the word illusion. Then initially on, then it switched to 4676, the Strong's Hebrew word 4676. First used it in Leviticus 26:1. The setting up of idols, or these are standing images, rocks that were put up. And then in the New Testament, it's only one Greek word per se, which is the Strong's Greek word 1504. It means a likeness to anyone, resemblance, similar to image, which is interesting. And then there's one exception, which is, let's see if I got it down here, it's Hebrews. It's in Hebrews, yeah. There's one exception to the word image, Hebrews 1:3, which is Strong's Hebrew word, Greek word 5481, which is character. It's where we get the word character from. And what this verse says is that Jesus is the expressed image of God the Father. And the word character there, it's where we get the word character from this verse. The word character. It means that it's an exact image of the likeness of the Father. Yeah. And so that's the reason why it's not something that's reproduced. It's the exact image.
See, that's what I was going to say is they can holograph, they can get the exact wording that he used, they can get a likeness that looks like him, they can do all the stuff, but what they can't do is they cannot perceive his emotion, his character, only what they think it was. Mm-hmm. So therefore, it's still a corrupted image because it brings in the perceptions of men.
Well,
Yeah.
What's interesting is the holograms that they have today are two-dimensional. But it's interesting when you look at the Shroud of Turin, it's three-dimensional. Well, I think the hologram is three-dimensional, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, three-dimensional.
Yeah, you can walk completely around the hologram. The only thing with a hologram
see through it, though.
is
Yeah.
you can break the image.
Right.
You can break the image.
Yeah.
So.
But when you take a look at this, the word image in the Bible, okay, Isaiah, pretty prophetic book, 9 times. The book of Judges, 11 times, which, now there's a bunch of pagan images. In the Old Testament Bible, the most places where image is used, book of Daniel 15 times.
Yeah.
And all those places is a foreshadowing of the Antichrist, or specifically about the Antichrist. When you get to the New Testament Bible, the word image is found 3 times in 1 Corinthians, 2 times in 2 Corinthians, so a total of 5 times.